Hey everyone, welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches with Chrissy's Beautiful Life, and here is day 26 sketch. So this is going to be the last 5 days worth of sketches that I had to put on hold from May, and you're going to see the journey of being stuck in a rut with your scrappiness. So I thought, because of the circles in this sketch, that making these really fun hexagons that I pre-cut from a pattern paper a long time ago, they've kind of just been waiting to be used, would be the perfect way to go. Add these two photos. There's actually three, but I was going to do a little flip book. But adding these two photos and making them into a summer layout and calling it done. Except, you know what? I really don't love the way that it looked, and I was struggling. I don't know if it was the colors, maybe, that they didn't really go together. I'm not really sure where my problem was, but I couldn't make this work for the life of me. And it sat on my desk for like half a week, for at least 3 days, trying to figure out how I was going to make it work. And I'm like, I give up. It's just not happening. And so what I decided to do was then grab this piece, which is like a Valentine's Day collection from a while ago. And I wasn't even going to use that element of separate little pieces, and instead do this. And that doesn't work either. So I went through, it was just crazy, a week worth of trying to figure out how to make this layout work. And the only good thing about doing that is that I did take my time and I didn't force it. I just left it there, and in the end, doing that brought me to these two photos this is from my daughter's birthday from this year. She turned 2, and brought me to using some of my crepe paper. So this is the Good Vibes collection, and this just was one of my all-time favorite collections. I love it. It's the colors to it and the kind of just the vibe that it had, and I just really love this collection. And I was looking at these and thinking, how cool would it be if I just did a bunch of signs, and the title could be "And Eat Cake," because I've already done her birthday about how she was 2, and oh my goodness. And I am kind of going through a reorganization of my albums that I'll explain once I actually have it all kind of done. But I used to separate my kids' albums, so if it was a story about them to highlight their personalities or anything, it would go to their albums. And then if it was something that was just like a family thing about them, it would go into our family album. And they also have they'll have a school album, and they have one that documents just their birthday every year, and one that they have 3 layouts a year that kind of represents them in that year. So they have I have my album separated into a bunch of different subcategories, and though I really loved that, I'm finding it really hard to file away my layouts. And so I decided to scale it back and just basically keep the idea of their school. They'll have a school album, and then they are going to have the album that is just their birthdays every year, because I really love looking at that progression, and the one of them where it's 3 layouts a year. Other than that, any other layout that has to do with them, even if it's about their personality, it's all just going to go into our family album. So my journaling in my family album is going to be like first person and it's going to be all of it kind of wrapped up into one, just because I feel like that's how I need to make it work for me. And then I won't have 1,000 different albums in different colors, because I very much was like, each child needs a different colored album. And so anyways, I'm scaling back. And so doing that, getting back to the point of this layout, I will have the layout of Nora's birthday, and then this one will be right beside it of her birthday cake and her blowing out the candles. And this was the first year that she understood the concept of blowing out a candle, right? So it was really cute, and these ambersands just kind of went, and I was really happy with it, and just started to play. And doing this was making me happy and making me I was really liking how everything was going. And so thankfully, it kind of got my scrappy juices and mojo back into creating and what to do, because I was struggling so much lately. There's just been so much real life going on, right? Like, we're trying to figure out where we're going to move, and Barrett is teething, and Miss Nora, I also think, is getting that second year molar of hers. So she's teething and going through the terrible 2 stages, and Jackson is finishing up his last little bit of preschool and is trying to learn to make the right decisions with friends and all sorts of stuff like that. So it has been crazy real life going on right now. And scrapping is just kind of, not that it's been on the back burner, but my mind isn't in a creative flow. And doing this layout, even though I struggled and took me, like I said, at least 4 days to finally come to what it turned into, it helped. And now I love this layout, and it helped me create tomorrow's layout that you'll see, because I was like, oh, okay, I've got this. I do know what I'm doing. I do remember how to scrap. And so, yes, that is kind of what is going on. And like I said, so this layout is just Miss Nora. She turned 2, and this is her cake. She got a Reese's cake that, let's see, I think it just had like the peanut butter and chocolate like crumbles in it, but she loved it. Jackson not so much, but she absolutely loved it, and she loved trying to blow out the candles. She didn't quite make it. She had to have a little bit of help, but she tried, and I love these photos. It captured her curly hair that she has going on right now, and just her sweet innocentness that is Nora. So I really love that. I wanted to add a little bit of layering underneath the photos. So you can see I took another photo that had already been layered. I took that photo off and just kind of trimmed it down to make it work for the one photo. And then I just add a little simple, it was like a specialty paper from this collection, and it has like little pom-pom border to it, and I'm going to use that to kind of do a border for the other one. And then instead of doing a big long line at the top and bottom like you see in the sketch, I just use 2 little ones and a little embellishments here and there to kind of make it all flow together. So I think it's a nice pop. It's fun, and I don't know, I feel like it really just kind of works. Now, this is becoming a little too simplistic. Like, there's not enough to it for me. And so I'm going to take everything off and do just a little bit of mixed media. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab that cotton candy pink that you see me use all the time, mostly because it's nice and soft and it gives me the vibe I'm looking for, but it's not too much. And it really does. It goes into the background and it's there, but it's subtle, but there's something there. So I really loved this choice. And then I also broke into my Heidi Shine, which I have not touched in forever, and I have just the littlest bit left, and I had a really hard time actually opening the bottle, but I just used that to do like a diagonal swipe to do a bit of gold as well, just to bring that out. The thickers I'm going to use to spell out the title that says Eat Cake are also in gold, so I needed to make sure I had that in a few areas, and I felt like using this bit of gold Heidi Shine would really work. And then I'm just showing you, I popped the one photo up with Fun Foam just so that there was, again, some dimension going on. And then I think there's a couple elements I put on Fun Foam, but there's not a ton. There's really not a lot of dimension in this layout. It didn't need a ton, but like for the layout, the part that I said, hooray, it needed some on the one side so it could balance and all of that. So little bits of dimension here and there, but mostly I just add little pieces from, I have a decent amount of this collection left still. I can make quite a few layouts still, but I wanted to use a few of the pieces to just create the embellishments without making it too overwhelming. And so I just fussy cut a couple of the florals out from one of the pattern papers. There's that big ampersand that's going to help me work with my title. And then, yeah, I just place that on there. And I'm not really sure why this video is so long because I'm almost done and this is just an extra long video, so you get to hear all my craziness. I'm doing this voiceover very early in the morning and I've had like 2 hours of sleep. It's just been lovely. It's so fun. So I do add a bit of these foam thickers, like the stars and stuff, just so that I have a bit of color of the gold kind of going around. It's hard to kind of make gold just in a title. You need it in more areas. And so I end up doing that with some more of those thickers placed around, but I also add this little gold sticker and that'll go up by the top floral. And then of course the sticker sheet had a couple ampersands as well, so I'm going to place those on and get those used up. Might as well. I'm really trying to make sure that I don't, like, if I can make it work, I need to make it work on a layout and go back to adding things. I've noticed my layouts have been simplistic in the fact that I'm really only doing like paper layers and all of that. My embellishment has been quite minimal lately, and I would like to bring it back a little bit. So I tried really hard to do that with this layout, and anything that I felt was relevant, I tried to pull it out and go ahead and use that. And then I'm also going to put the date on that little sticker right there, and I tuck it in by the photo. I saw that on a layout recently where there's this fun little piece sticking out of the photo layering onto the second photo. I really like that little added interest and touch of a layer to a photo like that. So I went ahead and did that. And I added a couple stickers. One says love this, one says March because her birthday was in March. And then I'm looking at this thinking, I really like it, but it's missing just a little bit. And so I'm going to fold up that bottom corner right there and add a couple more pieces of pattern paper from the Good Vibes collection. And it just adds a little pop of color down there, which you can see in this final layout. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with day 27. Bye.